this has absolutely nothing to do with books, but I just feel it's important information to share. If I look nearly as rough as I feel, this is because I added a new member to my family. So, everybody, meet Peg.
Hello, Peg. Hi, nice girl. I'm sorry, did I disturb your snooze? Hi, nice girl. Who's a good girl? You're like, oh my god, Mom, what the hell? What the hell? Good girl.
I got a dog. I don't know if I talked about it on this channel, but my previous dog, Tucker, was definitely in some of my way older videos. Like, he just sort of popped in and out, and I would say he was popping in and out. He was a Cocker Spaniel. He lived to the ripe old age of 13 years and 11 months, and sadly, this past March, we had to put him down because he was suffering from congestive heart failure and was in a lot of pain. And I won't lie, it was hard. Tucker I always called him my baby, and it was so difficult. Hey, nice boy. Hey, my old man. Yeah. Who's my nice boy? Who's my baby? Yeah. Who's my baby? My sweet boy. Yeah. Yeah. I know. I know, my baby. I know. And of course, my brother Luke had gotten a puppy this past November named Radar, my doofy little fur baby nephew, who is 1 year old this past July, and he's a good boy, but he's a lot. But I kind of had this feeling that I really wanted a dog of my own, and it was one of those things where I can get whims and impulses, and so just to make sure that I'm not acting on an impulse, I let the thing sit. And when it was at the point that I was budgeting how much I was willing to spend on a dog and how much I was gonna have to drop, like at the outset and kind of over time, I knew this wasn't a whim. And so I did a lot of research. I live in an apartment, and so I did a lot of research as to dogs that were good for apartments, dogs that are good that can be kind of left alone for like extended periods of time. She's alone on the weekdays in kind of like 4-hour increments. I pop in on my lunch break, and then on days where I go to the gym or I'm gonna skate, I have one of my rink mates. She actually comes over to kind of hang with her for like about an hour, which is great. Like, I would not make it if that were the case. And then I also need a dog that was reasonably quiet, like doesn't bark a lot, because my anxiety wouldn't be able to handle it, and then I'm sure my neighbors would hate me. And then I also needed a relatively low energy dog, because I need one that predominantly just kind of wants to snuggle and be with a human. Maybe needs like one brisk walk a day, but not much else. Is not a hyper player. Like, I have nothing against kind of being outside, but like, I watch Radar, and I'm not really a huge player when it comes to dogs. Yes, nice girl. She's looking at me from the bed like, Mom, get over here. She's also hearing my flatmate bang about and is probably very confused. He's a good girl. So I knew that I wanted a French Bulldog, and I went hunting. Fun fact, French Bulldogs are expensive as fuck. It's because they're considered like a designer breed, in that they are very popular right now, and there's a lot of these like rare colors that people breed for, and so they get all the more expensive. You also have a higher chance of like really irresponsible breeding, and that can cause a lot of health problems in the breed. And it's just because they're considered designer, they're trendy. I was like, I want one because, one, I love them, I think they're adorable. Like, I love all form of, as I call them, the smush nose breeds. So like English Bulldogs, French Bulldogs, Boxers, like even Pugs. I just love them, I think they're cute. And that breed was fitting all my criteria. Now, if you want to know how absurdly expensive Frenchies are, I found one that was considered like a very rare, purebred $24,000 for this puppy. That's stupid amounts of money. That's just stupid. So I started going on the hunt because I knew I wanted an adult, and I didn't care what gender, and I didn't care what color. I just didn't care. I just wanted one. And I knew I wanted an adult because puppies require an extra level of attention and care that I knew I could not give a puppy. So it wouldn't be fair to a puppy if I got a puppy, you know? And it took me forever to find one. It probably took me almost a month, really, to find a Frenchie. Felt getting rejected from at least a breeder or two, mainly because my living situation was not a good fit for their like retiring female. And it was fair when they said like, no, our dog really needs a fenced-in yard. Like she barks all the time and like every noise and all that stuff. I was like, yo, no, I'm not a good fit for that dog. You're right. So I finally went into a Facebook group. It was called A French Bulldogs Classified. What is she looking at? I don't know what she's looking at, but it's kind of weirding me out a little. And it wasn't until I went into this Facebook group that was called like French Bulldogs Classifieds or something, and made a post saying like, here's my budgetary range. I'm looking for an adult, like no sex or color preference, and kind of where I was located. That I was hit up almost immediately with DMs and comments, and I was at work and I was like, I'll wait to look at this till after work. That lasted about 30 minutes. I made it 30 minutes, and then I started looking, and I just got in contact with Peg's previous owner, who's actually a vet. So Peg is in really great health and is a very sweet girl. She is supremely submissive. She makes almost no noise other than her usual little like bully snorts and snores and grunts. The normal little noises they all make that kind of sound like pigs in a way. But other than that, she doesn't bark, she doesn't cry, she doesn't whine, she makes no noise. My dad actually said that is the quietest dog alive. I was like, I know. She's just a big old love bug. She just kind of wants to be near her human. She bonded with me almost immediately when my friend drove me up there. We had to drive a couple hours out to get her. And I, went in the first time I met her, I got down on her level, and she immediately like started climbing all over my lap and getting me kisses and snorts, and I was just like, I'm dead. I'm deceased. Hi, Peg. Hi, sweetie. He's a sweet
Karen
girl.
just texted me,
The drive back, she slept the entire way next to me. And she's nothing but a good girl. She bonded with me kind of almost instantaneously and has remained highly bonded to me. Like, we walk. I live on a very busy street. It's actually 2 one-way streets separated by these big medians that are, big and grassy, and there's lots of space in there, so I kind of walk her out in there. I can clip her off the leash, and she'll wander, and it's fine. She keeps a reasonably tight radius to me, which is really nice. The only thing is, because she's so submissive and this is all new, she's very timid and kind of terrified of everything. So she has been known to run or hide behind my legs. And meeting new people, she has shown sometimes with men, it's a little harder. I think that has something to do with the deep register of their voice, but it's also, a lot of people don't think, they just kind of bend right on over and go for the head to pet. And I'm like, to a dog, that's actually a pretty aggressive move. So it's like, fun fact, if you ever meet a dog, do not immediately like loom over them and go to pet their head, because you're in the bite zone and they can react to that by biting you because they're scared, especially if they back away and like their ears go back or something. It's like, whoa, no, they're scared. You have to let them come to you. And I told that with people with Peg. I was like, she's not gonna bite because she's so submissive and so timid. Yes, we are a nice girl. But she's scared, and I'd like to minimize the amount of terror going on in her life right now. But yeah, I think she's perfect. She's my everything. She's 3. She'll be 4 in November. And the only thing we're working on is re-crate training and re-housebreaking, because she came from an environment where she had a dog door and a dog house, so she could kind of do her business whenever she wanted. She's learning I'm on a schedule. because I work full time and I'm in a 3rd floor apartment. We have no dog door and no dog house. Nope. But we're learning. We're working on it. As for the crate, I had been told she was crate trained, and I think she was. She just hates it. Like really hates the thing, and I think it has something to do with like she's still adjusting. This was not the crate she had at home, so this is not really her safe space because she doesn't know it. So I'm working on associating the crate with peanut butter, which is something she clearly likes, and we're working on it. We're working on it. I also had to get a crate divider because I got a crate that was too big, so she could sneakily go pee and poop in one corner and then separate herself from the mess. And it was like, that's not how we do things. But other than that, yeah. She's a very good girl and I love her and I'm so glad I have her. And she's snoring yet again.
Thanks for watching me ramble today. If you'd like to see more from me, go ahead and click that button with my face on it. It'll take you to my channel where I ramble about a whole lot of different things. Got some thoughts of your own? Go ahead and leave them down in the comments. And make sure that if you want to see more ramblings from me, you click that little subscribe button. That's it for me today, you guys, so until next time, cheers.